My name is Jacob Dolan, and today I will be presenting the athletic role model. Start with some background info. So first off, 9 out of 10 children say that professional athletes teach good habits and are great role models. 6 out of 10 Olympian athletes have used or use performance-enhancing substances or PESs. 93% of a survey consisting of 1,500 kids of the ages from 10 to 17 have said that athletes promote fair play, success, and have gave them motivation. The role model. What does it mean? The definition of a role model is a person whose behavior, example, or success is or can be emulated by others, especially younger people. There are many different traits that one could possess to be deemed a role model. The question I want you to think about is, does just being a successful athlete make you a role model? Over the years, there have been many professional athletes who have been looked at by children as role models. Some famous ones include Sidney Crosby, Marshawn Lynch, Charles Barkley, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, Alex Arod. Are athletes truly role models? The answer is yes, but this does not apply to all athletes. Athletes are in fact role models, especially for younger children. The reason for this is because they have the dream job, playing a sport for lots of money every day. And of course, every child is going to want to be like this when they grow up. What is the problem with athletes? You may say, how can a superstar athlete not be a good role model? The problem with athletes being a role model is that they can use PEDs or performance enhancing drugs, which can teach kids that it is okay to cheat. They can be selfish and materialistic, like moving to a different team because of the money. They can be rude to reporters and use coarse language. They can promote poor sportsmanship by trash-talking their opponents, taking cheap shots or late hits, and yelling at the referees. Why is this topic important? This topic is so important because so many young kids are looking up to these pro athletes and are being inspired, but at the same time they are being taught poor sportsmanship and bad habits. 73% of all children say that a professional athlete is their most admired person in the world. This is second to only parents, in which 93% of children say that they're the most admired. The main issue that blemishes these athletes' integrity and images is the media. Because of the amount of adults and children wanting to know more about these athletes, the media is always following them around, recording their every move. It is important to remember that athletes are in fact human too. This being said, they will make mistakes. The only difference between an athlete making a mistake and you and I making a mistake is that you don't have the media following us around, which means we won't be recorded. Some examples of these issues are cameras recording MLB players having a lip full of chewing tobacco, filmed interviews record athletes swearing and disrespecting reporters, cameras record athletes taking late hits and cheap hits on opponents, microphones pick up trash talk and poor sportsmanship. The reasons that PESs are not on this list is because it is not the media's fault for spreading the news, because it is ultimately the player's own decision that made them cheat. An example of some of this is Alex Rodriguez, also known as A-Rod. A-Rod is one of the most famous steroid users in MLB. A-Rod had many young fans that looked up to him and worshipped him. He was a 3-time AL MVP award winner. In 2014, Alex Rodriguez was suspended for the entire season for the use of PESs. Another example is Marshawn Lynch. He's the legendary Seattle Seahawks running back that recently retired in 2015. Although Marshawn Lynch, also known as Beast Mode, was actually a good person, a great football player, and a good role model, the media constantly promoted him as a thug. Lynch was known for his hate of doing interviews. Before Super Bowl XLVIII, which the Seahawks ended up winning, Lynch had to be interviewed by reporters. Instead of answering their questions, Lynch kept responding with, "I'm just here so I won't get fined," over and over. Another thing that causes these issues, you may not see it coming, but it actually is the MLB postseason. It also happens in basketball and hockey. So, for example, after each series of the MLB postseason, the victorious team has a televised party in the locker room. At this party, champagne and beer is consumed and spray all around. As you can see in this picture here, this is Toronto Blue Jays' David Price. Josh Johnson in the background, and here's a can of beer. Although it may seem harmless, it encourages children to drink. Overall, I believe that athletes are great role models, or at least have the potential to be. Having a pro athlete as a role model promotes physical activity and success. I believe that we as a society should help regulate the media to give these athletes more personal space. If we give them more personal space, I believe that it will both help minimize the negative influence on children and decrease the pressure they feel to perform. If we decrease the pressure that athletes are under, maybe the uses of PES and PEDs can be reduced there for a more integral game. Thank you very much for listening. Have a nice day.